I want to talk to you about Bonsai software, and this is a review of the tool. And the question is, can you actually have proposals that win through this software? So here's the synopsis here. When you think about Bonsai, I want you to think about a tool that's really great in terms of a cloud-based solution, and it's really great because it allows all creative freelancers, all small business owners, all mid-sized enterprises, and even large enterprises at some point to actually automate their proposal submission processes. Okay, that's really important. And so Bonsai promises freelancing on autopilot, promises proposal management on autopilot. It also, so when you think about Bonsai, we love the fact that the tool gives you functionalities to help users streamline their contracting and invoicing processes. And so Bonsai is not just about proposal management, but also about invoicing. So think of it as a mixture of PandaDoc and, let's say, QuickBooks, if you will. Okay. So Bonsai is really an online platform that helps you streamline your numerous daily tasks. So when you create an account, go to the dashboard to access things like your contracts, invoices, proposals, and client information. And within proposals, we're talking about all kinds of proposals. We are speaking about RFQs, RFIs, DDQs, SOWs, and so on and so forth. And by keeping everything in one place within Bonsai, you can stay organized and hopefully accomplish tasks more efficiently. Okay, and that's kind of cool. And Bonsai's goal is to actually help you with everything you need for, let's say, a freelance project or just a regular project within your organization. And the Bonsai is kind of helping you from A to Z, from start to finish. So we're speaking about from proposal submission to a payment receipt. And with Bonsai, you will receive a 14-day free trial when you sign up, which will give you enough time, in our view, to actually test out the product and see if you like it and get a feel for how Bonsai can influence your daily life. Okay, so that's really good. And so when we think about the target audience, so this can be any small business owners, any freelancers, any team members who are working on multiple projects at the same time, and they will love to streamline actually activities from A to Z. So let's talk about the features here. When we think about Bonsai, what kind of features can you actually can you expect through this tool? Well, logging in for the first time leads you to some simple questions. So the platform asks what type of work you do, with options ranging from writing and marketing through to finance and design. By the way, if you are a small business, you can use Bonsai also. You just need to actually adapt your answer according to the questions that are coming from Bonsai. And there is any other option if your work or your activity or your project doesn't fit into one of the 7 available categories. And so after a few more questions about the nature of your work, about the nature of your project, about the nature of your activity, you end up at a central dashboard. So the central dashboard is really fantastic because it allows you to streamline your activity, to have a clear idea of how to work things, how to actually streamline all kinds of processes. Okay. And so once you end up at a central dashboard, you can do the following. You can create a new proposal. You can draft a contract. You can create an invoice. You can track your time and more. So let's talk about creating proposals. So the proposals option brings up a simple form that asks for the client and proposal name. If you don't have any client in the system yet, you can add one directly using the drop down column. So that's kind of cool in terms of helping you from a scalability point of view. So that's what we love. So you also get a choice of different proposal types ranging from, let's say, a generic through to proposals suited to different industries. So this is a nice feature in our view that allows some level of customization in the proposal. You also have the possibility to draft contracts. So much like with creating contracts, or much like with creating project rather, simplicity is the name of the game when drafting contract in Bonsai. So you'll answer the same questions as you did and for your project before you're taken into a contract creation wizard. Here you'll enter the basic details of the contract, such as what you are going to do, how much it will cost the client, and the contract length. You only enter the key facts and figures, which really speeds things up. You also have creating invoices. So this is kind of cool. So Bonsai automatically generates an invoice upon the creation of a contract. This is a good way to make sure that you are paid faster. But there's also an invoicing dashboard where you can mess around with things yourself. The platform allows you to create new invoices independently of your contracts. You can also edit any that you have already created. That's really fantastic. You also have time tracking. So time tracking is a good feature also that you have within Bonsai. So you are working on a project, and Bonsai wants to make sure that you are actually tracking your time actually pretty well. So let's talk about the value added here. When you think about Bonsai, what kind of value added can you actually expect? Well, you can keep track of clients, projects, and tasks. This is a great value adding activity. So from your dashboard, you have a section for clients where you can store information like clients' contact information and social media profiles, and even how much money they owe you. Okay, for example, let's say you enter information on your three main clients: finance company, travel blog, and beverage website. Then you can create projects for each client. On the finance company, for instance, you can add projects for credit card pieces, student loan pieces, and equity pieces. For a travel blog, the projects could be January blog post, February blog post, etc. Finally, you can create specific tasks under each project. For instance, under January blog post, you can add each individual blog post as a task, assuming that you write more than one blog post per month, okay? So this is kind of cool. You are able, this is another area that we love Bonsai, you're able to time yourself. So in the top right corner, you will see start timer. So when you click this, you can choose a specific project and even a task to time. You can also add notes like research, so you know you are spending your time researching, not writing. The timer is especially helpful if you charge clients by the hour, and so that's kind of important to think about. You can also create invoices. So this is a cool thing to have within Bonsai. You have the ability to create invoices. This another area where we love the fact that Bonsai is adding value is that it helps you write proposals and contracts seamlessly. So Bonsai provides several proposal templates depending on what type of work you are proposing, what type of activity you are spearheading. And so that there's one for writing projects that divides the proposal into context and objectives, timeline, and why me. There are also templates for other types of work like design or consulting. So this is an important element. And once a client accepts your proposal, you can write up a contract, and Bonsai's contracts are even more customizable than its proposals. And it's that level of customizability that we really love within the tool. And you are also able to record business expenses. This is another area where Bonsai adds value. So the expenses section is where you will keep track of items like Uber and Lyft rides, airplane flights, business meals, anything a client might reimburse you for. You can subdivide expenses into categories like advertising, office expenses, and supplies. So this is really good. You can also be your own accountant. So the bottom line is you can really monitor your revenue big time. Let's talk about the cost here. When you think about Bonsai, what kind of cost can you imagine? I want you to look right now on the screen. So Bonsai has a trifecta in terms of cost. They have the starter, the professional, and the business. So the prices as of the date of this show were $21, $32, and $66. So this is actually very important. Now let me break it down for you. The starter plan actually is perfect for freelancers needing essential tools and supports up to 5 collaborators, up to 5. And then you have professional. Now for a more advanced features, the professional plan, $32 per month, billed annually, is ideal for small businesses offering custom branding integrations and support for up to 15 collaborators. And the business plan, currently $66 per month, billed annually, is tailored for those requiring advanced team management, subcontractor support, and unlimited collaborators. Okay, so it's great to really think about it. Now, what we love about Bonsai is that everything is covered under one subscription. No more shelling out for separate contracts, proposals, invoices, calendar scheduling, and time tracking apps. So that's kind of cool. Now, based on our investigations, the professional plan is the best because when you think about the workflow automations, custom branding, and client portals, those are, when you think about it, worth the additional cost. So that really will help you. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that you have to ask yourself, what do you need in terms of functionalities? Because before you start paying for stuff, you got to have a clear idea about the return on investment. Let me break it down for you. For example, if you were to go with a premium plan, for instance, the premium plan allows you to invite collaborators, and that's kind of cool if you know that you're working in a team, and the premium. I'm in the professional plan. Professional plan allows you to invite up to 15 collaborators. So if you're working in a team where you know that you have less than 15 people, that's kind of cool because you're able to work collaboratively. You're able to have work sync automatically. That's what you want. You don't want your team members to update multiple sheets at the same time. You want everything to be synchronized. Let's talk about the pros when it comes to bonsai. I'll talk about the pros, and then I'll speak about the cons later on. So the pros first. Bonsai does a great job of keeping track of the various documents associated with different projects. It allows you to track the time you spend easily. You have automated contract creation, means that you don't need to waste money on a lawyer or even on an accountant. The language in the automatically generated documents adapts to your country. So it doesn't matter if you are in the States or you are in Germany or you are in Nigeria, you are in Brazil or you are in China. And the dashboard does an excellent job of giving you a general rundown of ongoing projects. And Bonsai is easy to get the hang of. There is no big learning curve to expect if you were to go with this tool. So that's kind of cool. But overall, we also love the fact that you have a client onboarding forms, scheduling links, contracts, and invoices. So that's really good. You also have a tool that allows you to look professional. Okay, you have multiple tools in one subscription. They do have a frequent product updates. They have outstanding customer support, and then they do have clean and minimalistic UI user interface. So that's kind of cool because in the end, that's what you want. You want a tool that allows you to look professional to your clients. Okay, and also when you have multiple tools on the one subscription plan, that's kind of cool because if you were to think about let's say Panda Docs or Signaturely, you are actually, or even Calendly, you are having like multiple products on the one plan. But Bonsai is really simplifying things for you, so you just have to pay one time and that's it. Okay, so that's really good. And what I want to say is that when you think about contracts and invoices, basically within Bonsai, the contracts and invoicing features are great because they give you the ability to create and manage invoices, including those recurring ones. So you can really save like 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, even 10 hours every single month. That's really something. That's really important. So let's talk about the cons here. I just spoke to you about some of the pros of Bonsai. What about the cons here? Well, you have the Bonsai's mobile app. The app is quite basic. They need to really work on that. The UI loads slowly sometimes, so there could be some bugs. The basic time tracking the time tracking is kind of basic, and so are the task management tools. So if you're thinking about time tracking for real, you don't want to think about Bonsai. And also the accounting features are not available to all users, so this is a bummer in our view. So when I talk about the mobile app, the Bonsai mobile app, at least in the iOS version that we have seen, is a bit limited. It's nice for checking time tracking, invoice status, and project updates, but you can't create contracts or invoices with it. It feels more like a basic preview app, so there could be a room for improvement here. And so when you look at the user interface, the user interface can be slow at times. Okay, when you are navigating through certain sections like loading pages, there is a noticeable lag. It's not a deal breaker when you think about it, but a faster and more responsive experience would be awesome. So Bonsai, if you listen to us, you might want to work on that aspect of things. And so also, if you are looking for time tracking, it's better to go with Zoho Time or Take Time, because Bonsai's time tracker and task manager they look pretty basic. it's not much more than a simple timer and hour tracker. Okay, so that's kind of important to think about. And also, the accounting features are not available to all users, so that's something to really think about as well. And also, one thing I want to say also is that within Bonsai, the contract creation process has its limits, and also some capabilities are not available in any language other than English. And also, the time tracking feature doesn't capture evidence of your work. So this could be a little problematic, especially if you are charging clients based on timing. Okay, and the invoicing may be convenient, but the system isn't flawless. Okay, you can't customize. You can only customize the invoices to a point. The sections are item name, units, rate, and total. But for one of but for some projects, you may have to actually go a little further. And right now, Bonsai doesn't have certain capabilities. So what is our verdict here? Should you go with Bonsai? Yes or no? Our answer is pretty simple. Definitely yes. Bonsai is a great tool. Bonsai is a great tool not only for contract management, for proposal management, but also for invoicing, for time tracking. Okay, Bonsai does everything that it says it will. More importantly, it manages to make everything seem so easy. You can have a project and its associated documents created in a matter of minutes, not in hours, not in days, in minutes. There is no learning curve, so that's kind of cool. You don't need to have a PhD in programming to use this tool. Bonsai is actually accessible to all kinds of all levels, if you will, all users. It also updates with client action as well as your own as you actually navigate through the tool. And the only issue that we have seen is that Bonsai can actually can improve a little bit in terms of language, in terms of time tracking, in terms of integration. That's important. And you do not want to go with if you want to really see the good part of Bonsai, go with a professional plan. That way you can actually you can see much more. I mean, the entry plan is kind of cool, but you are actually missing on a few things. Okay, and so that's kind of cool. But so if you are working on a large freelance project or a smaller gig, or you're working in a team and you want your business to track things like contracts, proposals, and invoices, then go with a professional plan. Okay, that's kind of cool. And so you can actually think about using Bonsai for a lot of things. But overall, it's just better also to take advantage of the 2-week free trial. So give yourself 2 weeks to test out the product and see if you like it before making like a serious move. So what's the epilogue here to this conversation? I spoke to you about Bonsai, and this was an in-depth review. I gave you the synopsis, the features, the value added, the cost, the pros, the cons, and the verdict. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.